Hey, so I can't pull over. I've got to be somewhere. So I'll do my best. Just never, never a dull moment on YouTube. Hi for anyone who's here. What's up? What's up? It's a hot day today. I don't even know how hot it is. It's 87 degrees. Very sticky, humid. Can you hear me okay? I know, it's a blurred background. You're drunk. Sober up. Oh my God, I was looking at one of my live streams from the other day, and there was on here, there was a little ant crawling around. I didn't even notice it until I watched a little bit. I wanted to see chat. And I'm like, oh my God, like there's an ant crawling around on my live stream. I don't know if anyone pointed it out, but I would have killed it. Killed it. Okay. I don't know if I can focus this any better. Hey Dory, what's up? Okay, so freaking mummy ramblings. I don't know if she put her video on private. I got the clip. Means someone recorded it and sent it to me. Because I can only take her in small dosages. I'm not like always clicking on over there to see what she's up to. And I'm not even sub to her, so I don't even get notifications. Although once in a great while I get a recommendation because I have clicked in there. Anyway, wherever Merv is, well, in her state, we know where she lives. Sleeping fast. Hope you had a good day, Edgar. So there's a current, and it's windy on that lake, and all you hear is one of her kids, the youngest, screaming his little bloody head off because he's stuck. His fishing line is stuck in the lily pods, and the current blew him and his kayak over to the lily pods in the corner of the lake. Mind you, he has no life jacket on. I don't know how old this kid is, 8, 9, 10. But what are you doing? So anyway, it's all you heard was this kid screaming. Something about spiders. But he couldn't get out. He eventually did. But my first thought, look at, who am I to tell anyone a parent? You're dumb. Or dumb, dumb, dumb. You got a screaming kid going on and on. You're ordering Jimmy to take care of it because you're on a live stream, right? So Jimmy doesn't come down right away. You tell him when he does that it's been less than a minute, which was a lie, since this occurred with her son. No, it hasn't been. And she continues to go live rather than just shutting off her live and taking care of the damn problem. Um, and also, weather alert. Severe thunderstorm in about 30 miles from current location. Great. So, we need rain. So, I grew up fishing. And even when I was her kid's age, the youngest, I had a little pocket knife. Very little pocket knife. It had like a little dull knife and a little scissor to it. What you do is you cut the line. Instead of trying to struggle with the hook and trying to get the hook unfree from friggin' lily pads, just cut the line. But I doubt he has a little pocket knife with him. He doesn't even have a life jacket, so why would he have a pocket knife, you know? So I was just really surprised. This is what I mean when I talk about YouTube addiction, and that, you're a parent, your kid's screaming, She's blaming the kids for just waking up cranky. No, the kid was stuck. He was stuck. So she basically put the blame on her kid, like it was his fault that he got himself stuck. But there was a current. It's choppy, choppy, choppy. And those currents can move quick, as it did for her son. So eventually, I guess he paddled his way out, and you could see clearly that he did not have a life jacket on. I would hope that if that kid was in distress, that you would have just shut your freaking live off and gone in, shoes and all. She was like, "It's only 8 feet away from us. You can paddle. Um, you only have so much feet of water. You know, why not just go in there and help him maneuver his way out of there instead of everyone having to listen to him scream and you ordering Jimmy to take care of it," which he didn't right away. While she's ordering Jimmy to do that, she's ordering him to water the flowers. He's so pussy whipped. He is so pussy whipped, that man. Water the flowers, Jimmy. Water the flowers, Jimmy. Jimmy's like, "We're gonna get thunderstorms, but well, they're not here. Water the flowers." He's so pussy whipped. I guess so. She said something about she's probably going to put it on private because people were annoyed with the screaming kid. No, people were annoyed because you didn't do anything about it. You let the kid scream and scream like a little girl. He was screaming because of spiders. The kid doesn't like spiders. I don't either. I'd want someone to just come in and go in there and just cut his own line, instead of having him struggle to get the friggin' hook out. Do you know how many times I've cut my own line? Of course, my own line. Of course, she's the expert. She's the fishing expert. You go into the Bass Pro Shop, her picture's on the wall. Don't you know? Don't you know? Hey, J May. What do you mean she's hiding? Is that a joke? I don't think. Someone called the authorities? You can't be serious. You can't. Tell me you're joking. Oh, is MRB hiding from authorities that are? I don't know. Is she? Hey, Jaylee. Oh, okay. Okay. Then that's funny. I was having a little visual of that as well. So it was, trying to think of the clip I got. Well, it was a recording. It's not on YouTube. And this person that sent to me is not a creator. They're like, "You gotta check this out." I'm like, "Do I have to?" I literally texted the person back, and I'm like, "Do I have to?" She did privatize the video. Well, I think there's a few people out there who have it. Another disaster in Murph's life. Look, if my kids are out on a lake in the ocean, in the tide, the current takes them away, I get a little bit panicky. Like, I'm right there, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna go live stream. I don't get. Well, I get it. She's addicted. Her life is on friggin' live stream, ordering Jimmy around to go take care of the problem. And these are like things her kids will remember. Like
My mother was always on a live stream. And eventually, if they end up at a therapist's office, they're going to start, the therapist is going to be like, so tell me about your childhood. You know, this is when they're adults. So if they end up in therapy, tell me about your childhood. Was your mother there for you? No, she was there for her subscribers. Ridiculous. Jolie, you saw it? What'd you think? Jimmy didn't go down right away. This kid screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed. I think if I lived on that lake or in that neighborhood, I would have thought like someone is being harmed, like hurt, is in distress. The kid's got a fear of spiders. I mean, he might have hit a spider's nest. But lily pods can be dangerous. You can get caught up in them, even in a kayak. I've been kayaking and went right through a whole patch of lily pads. As beautiful as they are when they have flowers on them, they can get caught in your kayak, in your paddles. It makes it difficult. So, but he freed himself without the help of his mother. But what was I talking about yesterday? When accidents happen, things we can prevent, you know, thank God he didn't capsize or try to get out of the kayak himself to shore because he doesn't have a life jacket on. He could have fallen. He could have banged his head. Anything could have happened. When you have kids, your whole life changes. Your whole life changes. You are a wreck until the day you die, no matter how old your kids become. You will always worry about them. Always. I would have just gone in and cut his line and help pull him out. I would have been like, all right, enough of this. Stop you screaming. You're going to be okay. You know, I'm going to come there and cut the line and get you out of there. Because you know what? It's really not a great day to go kayaking the way the water was. That's choppy and windy. Please. But she's the expert fisherman, Miss Bass Pro herself. And Jimmy's probably watering flowers now. Because he was told to. Freaking Jimmy, really, you got pussy whipped. If I ever had my spouse tell me to do this and do that, oh, no, 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 no. It's not how my marriage worked. Nope. You don't order people around like they're, your servants. If you want your flowers watered, do it yourself or hire a gardener. 7 of her 9 dogs have died in the last 10 years. Died prematurely. Yeah, who has sleeping cats? Same thing. And then if something happens, I was thinking about that yesterday when I was talking about, taking that chance and not putting a helmet on your kid, or I also thought about we don't put our seatbelts on if we're close to home. I've done that a couple of times. I'm like, my house is right around the corner. Stupid. Because accidents can happen at any time, right? So why would I chance that? And I own that ignorance to thinking, I'm just running to the store. Everything is close by in the city. What the hell happened up here? Jeez. Um, you know, nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna take me literally 1 minute to drive to the store, and I don't need my seatbelt. Aside from getting pulled over by a cop for not wearing a seatbelt, but we take chances in life, right? But sometimes it costs us our life. And I don't ever want to be someone that has to live with that regret. Like if something ever happened to my kids, my partner, that I could have prevented it. All right, Slowpoke in front of me. Is it indica you're smoking? Come on. Look at the traffic on the other side. Today is my lucky day that whatever's going on, this is more than commuter traffic. There were two cops, and unless it's a homeless woman walking down the street. This is the highway I was on the other night coming home. It was still light out. It was around 7:30. There's no breakdown lane on either side. See to the left of me, there was a woman with a shopping carriage right here. So right here, like walking in their carriage against the traffic on a divided highway. I was like, geez. But there happened to be a cop 2 cars ahead of me. Thank God. And um, they happened to see her, and he put his lights on right away. The traffic in Pennsylvania is heavy. They do a lot of road work. There's always road work, and I'll tell you why. I knew a guy that worked for the highway department. I said, how come it's always like, no matter where you go, they're always digging up roads all the time, everywhere? And he said, depending on what your uh, city or town allots, for money, if you spend for the fiscal year, if you spend less than you did the year before, then the following year they'll give you the lesser amount of money. So they always want more money. So they will dig up roads when roads don't need to be dug up to show that they're spending all this money. So, and I'm sure they're skimming off the top. Why, if it's not broken, there's nothing to fix. It's just tearing up asphalt and looking and not fixing. Dogs. She argued with that and refused. Yeah, didn't a couple of her dogs die of Lyme? Yeah, there's a treatment for that. It's absolutely preventable in animals. Look at, I always say in the words of Einstein, there are two things in this world that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe. Some people aren't cut out for him, obviously. Why'd you put a healthy Chihuahua down? I had a Chihuahua. She was they called them a deer Chihuahua. She was a long-legged deer Chihuahua with pointy ears. She cute. Good dog. Didn't have that yappy bark. She was so good. She passed away from old age. She went into congestive heart failure. It happened so quick. Why would you put a healthy dog? Nah, she didn't. She couldn't have. What vet would do that? Like, can vets do that? If you just don't want your dog and you want to euthanize, they can just do it? No. Can you prove that, Jamie? She's on the do not sell to breeders list. That's bad if it's true. I'm not saying it's not true. I don't know anything about that. Yeah. I would hope, those dogs that their family that don't want them, they would rescue them if they were healthy. Pets are a huge responsibility. Huge. As to why I haven't gotten a pet yet, since my pet passed away 3 years ago. My life, COVID happened. Life got busy. Life is getting busier. Come on, people. And I we almost got a puppy a couple months ago. It didn't work out because we weren't quick enough in claiming one of the puppies. You know what? Just as well, um, because of recent changes that I'm going through in my life. The change of life changes. It would have been, yeah, it would have been really hard, much harder on me, the burden to take care of a dog. So, but they're a huge responsibility. You got to take them out, make sure they're up to date in their shots, give them heartworm treatments, whatever kind of treatments there are. It's expensive. If they get sick, the lab work's expensive. Um, so I see a lot of people who can afford pets and they get them, and it's like it's not fair. It's not fair to pets. You know, why would you do that? It's like you take your kid to the doctor, right? So yeah, I can't. Like I said, I can only take on small doses because every time something happens, it's just not a little bit. It goes to the extreme with Murph. With her kid screaming, she's blaming her kid for being the way he is. Like she has nothing to do. She's just sitting there on a lot. Of course, he's gonna scream for attention. That's what kids do. That's what kids do. You don't just say, "Well, they woke up cranky." You know, there's a certain way you can speak to your kids, and I'll tell you, my kid was out there screaming like that over a spider. I wouldn't let it go on. I would do something because he's probably scared all the wildlife away at that point. And it would be an embarrassment to the neighbors. I'd be like, can you just be quiet? I'll come right over. We'll cut the line. Because kids, their biggest thing, they want to know they're safe. And they depend on their parents to help them when they're in a situation where they feel afraid. And he felt afraid. But he knew his mother wasn't going to get off that live. And he knew she wasn't going to come for him. And he just said, I'm going to do this myself. And he did. I don't know if she's biking anymore. That hobby came and went pretty fast. Maybe she broke the bike. Maybe whoever ran over the dog ran over her bike too. Or maybe she just broke it. These racing bikes can be delicate in the sense that if you don't know how to ride a racing bike or you haven't been trained, you can break it pretty quick. You can break those bikes. I had a very expensive bike years ago when I was in a bike club. A lot of maintenance. A lot of maintenance. But I'm sure if something happened to the bike, we would have heard about it. She would have blamed us. Right? She would have blamed us. Like we got blamed for the dog somehow. Actually, I can pull over in a little bit. I'm running good. Maybe not. She's very consumed with decoupage these days. Well, listen. Decoupage furniture. And I'll tell you why. It's bank. It's bank. These tables go for in the hundreds and thousands of dollars. I went web shopping, browser shopping, and I was looking for a thumbnail for my live yesterday. The prices $226,000, I think, for that thumbnail I used. And then she could make all this furniture and never have to go on YouTube looking for chump change, right? I'll pull over about 5 minutes. This person that texted me the recording said that there weren't that many people in her live. There were like 8 people. And I'm like, oh, plus her, so really 7. But I don't know if there's a way you can check actually how many people are chatting, but there were only 8 people there. So I can't imagine many. And I got another bot commenting that my sad videos. Stupid bot, leave me alone. Okay, I know where you came from. All right, don't tell me to stop it with my sad girl videos, because if you've known me, bot, like I'm talking to a bot, I have been uploading sad girl videos for a long time. I haven't recently, but because of you, Merv, I found myself getting a little bit off balance and started getting back. I do yoga a lot. I meditate daily. But as far as going on his website, watching his videos, I haven't in probably a few months. So I wanted to share the enrichment of Sadhguru with my subscribers. So take a seat. Take a seat, Yvonne. And they're good. If you guys have watched them, and you can record, like if you want to put one up on your page, you can record him and make sure it's Sadhguru's actual YouTube page, because there's a lot of different Sadhguru pages, like Mystic something, and he is just Sadhguru, okay? You can get a notification from YouTube. He doesn't care. He wants people to spread his word, his videos. And when I mean word, not religious, in that way. It's inner engineering. So don't be afraid to, if you want to make a video using his videos, you can do it. So, and I think that's pretty cool. But the last one I uploaded today was on karma. And I'll tell you something. Let me pull in here and pull over. He's amazing. He explains things so easily, and you're like, oh my God. Like, he's so right, kind of gives you a reality check. All right. Okay. You have 43 and you're driving, and it's dinner time. I know, I'm not supper. I had a bowl of cereal a few hours ago. That's all I've had today. Captain Crunch. It's so bad for me, too, to eat Captain Crunch, but I felt like Captain Crunch. 2 of our Westies died from anemia, which can be treated with iron. Yeah, untogs, were they full, what do they call them when they're full full, you know what I mean? Like, aren't they more susceptible to diseases and hip dysplasia and all that. Angie, hello, it's good to see you. I know you got my message yesterday. I hope everything's well. I hope you're almost done with your house renovations, moving into a new house. And she took her old crippled Westie on a boat with a float vest. Oh, without a float vest. No, 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 no. I grew up on boats, big boats, really big boats. If you get a big boat, little boat, small boat, an inner tube, you put your pet in a vest. Always, always. I don't care if they're a Portuguese water dog and they were born to swim. They need a vest. And vest, please, when I was growing up, we had those vests that you could, that went up around your jaw and your side of your head, and you couldn't even like turn your neck. They were so cumbersome. But now, I mean, they've had probably since the 80s, 90s, really lightweight. They look like a clothing vest. So they're not cumbersome. I am finding my butler's pantry today. Wow. Pure breed. Yes, thank you. Pure breed. Yeah, don't they get sick more often, or they're more susceptible to disease or something going wrong or something? Merb is reckless. Hi, Irish twin. It's really hard, when you see, like, all I'm saying is if something happens to one of your precious babies, and I call my kids my babies, and they're old, they're adults now, and it could have been prevented. I don't want to see anyone go through that. Because you teach your kids to float doesn't mean they will not become distressed. What if they got caught in all the weeds from lily pads and they got stuck? They would drown. They would drown. You couldn't be able to float. Don't get me started. Your pit bulls wear a jacket. Yes, they should. Well, she put it on, I don't know, someone said it's not there. She was going to put it on private. It doesn't take much water to drown it. No, it doesn't. No. But live and learn, I guess. At the price of a child, that something could have been prevented. We hear it every day in the summertime. Right when the good weather comes, we hear it in the news. There was a drowning. There was a drowning. Every week, there's a drowning at lakes that are more calm than Merb's Lake, okay? That are like fishing holes. We hear of adults drowning. They just found a guy in my state. Was it my state or was it out of state? They didn't say if he had dementia. 82 years old. Found him in shallow water, suffering from hypothermia. He was alive, but they showed the paramedics rescuing him. I think it was out of state. I think Inside Edition maybe showed. I don't know. Right? Hitting their head, getting a cramp. Adults may have a heart attack. What's good is floating if you have a heart attack. You'll float to the top once you float to the bottom and you're down there for a couple of days. Then you'll float. My first patient was a drowned victim. Dead on arrival. Dead from being baptized in a lake. Being baptized, but he didn't know how to swim. What did the pastor do? He panicked, and the pastor saved his own life, and the guy that he was baptizing drowned in shallow water. That was my first patient, a DOA, dead on arrival. And they wanted to take an x-ray because they they didn't know if he drowned or if he had a heart attack. So if they could see water in the lungs, if he aspirated, then they would determine he had drowned. If not, They would have to look into it further to see if he had a stroke or if he had a heart attack, an aneurysm, whatever. He was being baptized. A man drowned on her lake in shallow water when his glasses fell in the water. In my life as a 20-year-old, you're 20, honey? You're 20, you're a baby. Or when you were 20, you knew of two people drowned in a bath at home. How old were they? I've heard of kids drowning in bathtubs. My girlfriend's daughter drowned in a lake on Easter. She was 4 years old. It's the worst wake I've ever been to. Oh, when you were, yeah, don't you wish you were 20? Did Merv delete a video today? If it's privatized, it will say privatized, or she may have just deleted it. I don't know. But it's been clipped, recorded. I'm sure. Well, I don't know if there were 8 people in there. Maybe I'm sitting on a gold mine. No, just kidding. She'll probably strike me. I'm not gonna play it unless there's a way I can do it. And God, and editing videos and add stuff to it, and so for fair use, it would probably take me like 5 weeks. Tim Merv deleted it. Yeah. What was the video about? Her kid screaming his head off in the lake. The current swept him and his kayak out to the corner of the lake, and he got stuck in lily pads, his hook, and his fishing hook. And she says, "You gotta wait for your father will come to help you." Because she was too busy on a live stream. She never moved. She didn't flinch. But, she has an excuse. You're only 8 feet away from the deck. You're only 8 feet away. Just go over there and cut the line, Merb, since you're the expert fisherman. It's not the kind of weather to have your young kid out in on a kayak with the water that choppy in the wind. You can't say that's a calm lake. You just can't. Your first response is to help a child, right? No, she'd rather blame her kids for waking up cranky. They woke up cranky, so it is what it is. Not that he was seeing spiders. I have a feeling he hit a spider's nest, because or even if he saw one spider. Some people freak out at spiders. I don't like spiders. He's a little kid. How old is he? But she's Miss Pro Bass Fisherman expert, so she knows best. But I grew up fishing since I could walk. My first thing was in a mud hole, and I caught an eel. And I remember running through the campground. I must have been 4 or 5. And I was so proud. People in the campground. I remember it but I also know that when I was real young, like probably 2nd, 3rd grade, I had a little pocket knife. It was a dull knife. It wasn't anything I could hurt myself with, but it was enough to cut a line, and it had a little scissor on it. And it came attached to like this keychain that floated, or I don't know if it was yellow or orange. I still remember it. I wish I kept that stuff. The water was very choppy and windy. And Jimmy was told to water the flowers. Not her. She doesn't even water flowers. She just, uh, you know, she's the princess, the queen. I don't know, Glamis. I would have gone over there. Just to make sure my kid would stop screaming. I'd be embarrassed with the neighbors. I could probably clip it and make it audio only so you can hear the screaming. But I'm sure someone else will have it. I'll send it to Hell to the No. Hell to the No. I keep waiting for a new video. Isn't this awful? Are we becoming addicted? Is anyone else frustrated that she hasn't put up a video in 2 days? Just like, where's the video? I want a video. I want a video. I want a video. She treats him like he works for her. No, she treats him like he is her child. And she to him is his mommy. She just sits there and bosses them around, but says she has to do everything. No, she doesn't. You check every day for one. I check 10 times a day. Even though I know I'll get a notification, I still check. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me addicted to YouTube? Oh, Jimmy! Call the FBI. They made another video about me. It's Hell to the No. They're back. She's back. Call the FBI. We got an open case, Jimmy. We have an open case. I know you don't believe me, but we really do. The FBI is on my speed dial. Yep. They have an open case. It's been 4.5 years. Yep. I'm gonna nail all of you people to a wall. Jamie, me too. You use notifications? Yes, you're addicted. Yes, I do. Does that make me a bad person? How else would I know? But even with notifications, yeah, I check. So yes, I am a bad person. I've been swatted. I've been swatted for the 19th time. Like I said, with all that's happened to her that she claims, she would be in the witness protection program. We know that, right? Not even movie stars, not even the president of the United States goes through this much shit. And if you watch my Sad Girl videos, you will understand that this is life. Things happen. You're no different than anybody else. It's how we handle the situations that come our way, right? Namaste. Not that he says that. He's right. He always says yes, yes, yes. It's bad to enjoy watching her getting a little bit of what she deserves. Ooh, Jolie, that's revenge karma. Don't wish it too much. Just sit back and it'll come on its own. I remember her indifference to Jimmy when he tumbled down the stairs. Oh, please. Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, you fell down the stairs. Oh, I thought something was coming down off the ceiling and going to hit me on the head. Enough about you falling down the stairs. Break your neck. I don't care. Jimmy, I'm alive, okay? Jeez. Never moved off her chair. Like, do you have legs? Maybe she didn't have. Well, we saw the legs. Okay. Hell to the No's very first video, we see her getting up out of her chair, gamer chair, whatever. Um, this is a true story. When I first started, I knew Perplexed QT way before YouTube. We were friends on Facebook. We were friends a long time. But I never saw her. Like, we never video chatted but we talked a lot on the phone. When she started doing her YouTube channel, there was a point I was questioning if she had legs because you never saw her getting up or moving. And I remember saying to somebody, I was serious, like, maybe she doesn't have legs. And then I'll never forget it. One time she got up to let her dog out, and it was like, oh my God, she's got legs. Laura has legs. But when you see someone like that, you start like your imagination, right? That gray area. You start thinking the keyboard warrior in your head. Well, maybe she's got a disability. You know? No, she didn't rush over it to help him out. She laughed, and then she laughed, and her kids laughed. You see how kids emulate their parents? So now her kids will probably laugh at everybody who falls down, even though I do as well. But if it were my husband, I draw the line. When it comes to family falling down, I don't laugh. I just laugh at other people. And I think it's a nervous laugh. But I don't think Marv has a nervous laugh. So listen to this. Last night, before it got dark, before the sunset video I did last night, which was really fun. Thank you for those who came. It was fun. Cherry spitting. Um, so Hank is 15 years old. We're fostering Hank. Um, so after I took him out for a walk, I went up through the porch to open up the sliding glass door. And poor Hank thought the sliding glass door was open. And he goes and he jumps. He's 15 years old. He's in good shape. He jumps and hits the sliding glass door and bounces back. Sorry, but he was okay. My first reaction, I didn't laugh at first. I was like, oh my God. Like, I rubbed his head. And I'm like, are you all right? Like, I'll give you a treat. I'll give you 2 treats. I'll give you 5 treats. Like, are you okay? I checked his head for bleeding or, to make sure, like, his eyes weren't rolling in the back of his head. The poor thing. And I'm like, well, I don't need to clean my sliding glass door because even Hank thought it was open. I know, poor Hank. Seen her walking to bench, then photo of Shell stealing on the beach. Merv's gonna make furniture. She's gonna start her own clothing line. The Shell clothing line. We have to come up with a name for it though. Merv Shell. Shell's our Merv. The Shell line. Jimmy clothing line. The Jimmy clothing line. Someone told me she showed that video not too long ago for a fun night. Like, really? That I would cringe showing my spouse or my loved one falling down the stairs. I wouldn't be able to look at it. Go to Shell. Merv. Go to Shell. Merv. I like that. She's very shellfish. Very shellfish person. Oh, and from car to Target. Does she go to Walmart? Shell Shock. Shell Shock clothing line. I like that. Shell Shock. SJ Hellfish. In Canada, there's nothing funnier than people slipping on the ice. Yeah, here too. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's worse in Canada. Um, but yeah, if you look at those compilation videos of people falling or cars sliding down the road at this one particular spot, and everyone keeps sliding in the same spot and crashing into each other at the bottom of the hill. Yeah. My daughter showed me a video once. I don't know if it was in Russia or it was a bus. And there were these 2 older people sitting side by side. And the bus crashed into something. And both these people went flying. But the way they fell, it was like uh, synchronized falling. It was just, you couldn't help but laugh because it was like, oh my God. Like, do you remember the people in the fishing boat that with the sunglasses and one girl was in the bikini and they hit a wake and they all couple flew one way and another two people flew the other way. The glasses went flying out into the lake or the ocean. I guess it's funny if it happens to someone else, but I don't know. My loved one, I saw my dad fall a few years ago, and I was crushed. I was crushed. I mean, he was all right, but it wasn't funny at all. Thank you, Essie. He's such a good dog. Oh my God, he's such a good dog. So my son was at a festival, music festival, working it. I guess his job, he wasn't too happy. Got there, and they're all about separating recycles, composite, and garbage, trash. But he got to go to this 3-day festival with music, and he said there were some famous performer performers there. He mentioned them. I never heard of them. But Hank missed him because my son is his dog walker. That's how my son knew Hank. But my son is back, so it's easier for me because I don't have to rush home. But thank you, yeah. And you know something, my daughter mentioned that our next dog, let's get a senior dog. Let's go to the shelter, Mom, and get a senior dog. And you know what? After having one, because I was kind of against it, because I wasn't sure, like, they're not going to like us or they're set in their ways. Hank is like, he's so good. Hi, Alice Sings. Well, thank you. Welcome. Peace, love, and lies. I wasn't around for that J Bell stuff, but I heard it was pretty wild. Was J Bell the person who said her husband died, then her baby died? People had a baby shower. Are there videos out there about J Bell? Did she fake her death yet? I'll have to look it up. She also had an entire family mass murdered in New York. Oh, that's horrible. Talk about bad luck, huh? And she was friends with Merv. Well, maybe she taught Merv some lesson. I mean, think about it. You know, Merv is everything that happens around Merv that's made up borders on tragedy, if not tragic. Now, these are things that are made up, which are mostly everything. Jay Bells and Merv make me go, mm-hmm. Yep. It went from the whole Jewish family being murdered. Merv was friends with a Jewish person? Really? Interesting. Interesting, because she's so quick to say, I'm not Jewish, as if there's something wrong with being Jewish. I wonder if Merv would like me for being Jewish. She claims she was on the. Oh, really? Where is J Bells these days? No, she had a fatal brain tumor, so she's dead. Oh, oh, that's a shame. Right, my sleeping cats? Yeah. But see, when you go on YouTube, you can create any identity that you want to be. But some people are really bad at it and they trip up and they talk too much. And it's because they probably didn't get enough attention on Miss Romper Room. Stop snack time. And she can't find Miss Barbara or Miss Jane, whoever she had for the Romper Room lady, because she wants revenge on the Romper Room lady for getting rid of snack time, and she never said her name through the magic mirror. Can you blame her? No one was allowed to question J Bell's narrative. Do you think Merv and J? Now I don't know anything about this J Bell, but do you think they were uh, co-conspirators? Like, like Mervs was into this, like knew all what was going on and played into it, or contributed to it? This lady took up all her time and would call her after alive. Didn't this J Bell come to Merv's house and sleep over? Were there pillows under the blanket, or was it really J Bell's? No, there was a person since she came here and stayed with Merv. The romper room story. Oh yeah, mommy ramblings. Look at romper room lady didn't say my name either. I would sit in front of that black and white TV. Yes, I'm old as dirt. Just waiting after kindergarten. Just so obviously I'm younger than you, Merv. Just for her to say my name. Never said it. I couldn't find my name on a cup, on a keychain, but I don't think I was traumatized. I had no inclination through the rest of my childhood or into my adulthood and up to now of finding where Miss Romper Room Lady is and giving her a piece of my mind for not saying my name. It wasn't until I was, I don't know, maybe I found out like 20 years ago. Your mom or dad had to call into the show, even your babysitter, and say, "Could you please say," or write to the show and put your child's name. But no, Merb wants to find Romper Room Lady and seek revenge. She never showed J Bells on camera. Oh, that was it. Look, I don't even know the story, but just the fact she never showed her on camera, it didn't happen. She's so bad at this. She's so bad. It's entertainment, actually. Never saw her and supposedly stayed 2 weeks. Really? That's a long time for, yes, peace, love, and lies. It's a long time for a stranger to stay. Yes, she thinks she's an expert fisherman. She knows it all. Of course she does. She taught her kids, she said. Although I thought she said someone else taught her kids. But, yep, she makes it clear that Jimmy has not taught her children anything about fishing, that she was the worm hooker even when she was a kid. So she may have been a tomboy. I was a tomboy. I wasn't afraid of hooking up worms. I hooked up worms for my friends, but I didn't brag about it. Let's do a live so I can share with everybody how I help my friends hook a worm on their hook. There's some unresolved conflicts going on, if you ask my personal opinion. I think maybe Dr. Phil might be in the making. Can you imagine Merv on Dr. Phil? At least she wouldn't have to jump up onto the chair because she's tall. Like Wendy, probably need a step stool to get up onto that chair, Dr. Phil's chair. J Bell was on a cam a few small times. With Merv, all right. Sleeping cats, yeah, I'm gonna look it up. And you peed in the coffee can in the boat. Good for you. So during the fishing video a few days ago, the boys asked questions as if they'd never fished before. Merv has not fished with those kids before. How tall is Merv? I believe she's about 7'3", but I could be wrong. I can't prove it, but it's what I heard. And I know we shouldn't believe everything we hear, right? I'm the one that will say, don't believe everything, but I believe she is 7 feet 3 inches. Yeah, sleeping cats. I'll have to, I'm definitely going to look that up. Yes, and Jimmy is 4 feet 9 inches. Yes, yes. But hey, in bed it doesn't matter, they say, right? But then again, I don't think they go to bed, never mind share a bed. And you can see the progression of time that Jimmy no longer goes to bed. He's now up and he fiddles around like a kid does when they want to be around their mom all the time. Have you noticed that? Like whenever your mom got on the phone, if you're a mom, your kids wouldn't bother you, but the minute you got on the phone, they'd be in your face. It's like they've got mommy radar. Like, I know when mom goes on the phone. Like, really? That's what Jimmy reminds me of. A little kid that when mom goes on the live stream or on the phone, he starts he starts piddling around and pussyfooting around. It must be weird, like to be young and neither of your parents work. When you go to school, you know, your friends, your dad's at work or your mom, well, both of them at work. That's weird these days, isn't it? But they must be independently wealthy. So good for them. Oh, yes, Alice, I agree. He's very desperate for attention. Very desperate. But there is that Oedipus complex. I mean, Freud just didn't make up this stuff for nothing. Jay Bells was on cam a few times before the trip. Okay, and then Merv showed some clips from her trip. I remember seeing her in a long coat. So she was with Merv? All my sleeping cats, from what I heard, again, from what I heard, I wouldn't have never known that Jimmy had older kids, any kids, ever, ever. I always just thought Merv's kids were from her previous marriage, and I just figured Jimmy just didn't have kids. Irish, yes, he does seem adorable. He's got that little voice. They grow up fast. And then her oldest son is like gangster now from that live stream. What the F is this? Again, he just sounds like from that movie, that mafia movie. Oh my God, what's the name of it? I've watched it like 50 times. Goodfellas. The little boy that runs the errands for the mob at the butcher shop or whatever. For some reason, her oldest son just, his voice reminds me of that kid in Goodfellas. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. They are cute. Yes, peace, love, and lies. I will, yeah, both her boys are cute. Jimmy's first wife died. Oh, really? He was an alcoholic. Well, you're always an alcoholic, but so he's sober. That's good. So he's Jimmy's first wife died. Yeah. Yeah, him and I got something in common. What do you know? Not that I'm an alcoholic. No, I lost my husband. So suddenly, I don't know how Jimmy lost his wife. Bronx Tale. She's live. She's live now with 15 watching. Pink Lady Luck 58, Merv 15, winning. Hashtag winning. I don't care about how many people, not in my channel, but I appreciate everyone being here. The other day, it's been a long time since I got like 140, 150 people in my Molly Go Lightly parody days. I remember my first Molly Go Lightly parody. I didn't know anybody, nobody. And I went live, and there was like 400 plus people. And I'm like, hi. Like, I didn't know anybody. It was weird. It was so weird. And I was pretending like you guys were giving me crap. And I told you guys, give me crap. Like I want to interact with my audience here, right? It was so much fun. I bet you thought I froze. Oh, Jolene, I'm sorry. It's tough. It's real tough. Took me almost 3 years to get out of denial. I had every excuse in the book that he was coming home alive. It was it was awful. It was a very hard time for me. Of course, my doctor whipped me on an antidepressant right away, which I thought was probably not the best thing because what happened was it put up a wall, and I don't think I grieved. Uh, I was genuinely grieving because when I started weaning off of it, I was an emotional wreck. Why doesn't his kids have a relationship with him? I don't know if they do or not. Maybe they do. They just don't want to be part of this YouTube crap. My family wouldn't, except for my kids. But my other family members, they'd be like, yeah, no thanks. Right, J May? They always say before you marry another person, always interview their ex first. Oh, it's a cat. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, it's awful. Did the drunk driver go to prison? I think her youngest son has a YouTube channel. Really? I hope my kids never. Well, they're adults. I don't think they'll ever. Well, Crush Adam did for a while, but then he had to focus on his recovery. So he was smart. He was smart. He enjoyed it. He did parody with me. He did parody on his channel. His channel's still up. Um, but he had to focus on his recovery. So good for him. Because I think if you're in recovery, especially new recovery, it's a very slippery slope. Jeez, to with all that goes on social media and the hurt and the depression, and it's very easy for people to probably fall back to their old behaviors. So I'm glad my son decided just to back off of it. All right, I've got to go because I'm going to lose connection. All right, I'll be back maybe later tonight for sunset. Thanks for coming. Be safe out there with your life. Jimmy, put life jackets on.